Welcome back to yet another Rumsky video. Just to recap from the last video, just want to say thank you for all the support. We're back in the grind, back training. It's kind of nice. I have 7 weeks until, maybe 6 weeks by the time I post this, until nationals. So I don't have any events in between. So my focus for this week has shifted a little bit. I haven't been training any programs this week. We'll start again next week. This week my focus is technical stuff, you know, technique, and for the most part, the toes, quad toes, I don't anticipate that it's gonna be like ready for nationals. That's not really what I'm going for, but I just wanna keep up the development. There are definitely some gains happening, and the biggest goal for me right now is, let's call it optimization.
Optimization.
All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can't refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high.
By optimization, I'm talking making it easier to do, more efficient, less energy consuming, because that's kind of like the goal when you want to try to put into a program is you got to do 7 jumps and 3 quads and whatnot. You don't want them to eat up a chunk of both mental and physical energy. So my goal right now is optimization. All right, let's do this.
You got what I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat, keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion, ooh, that sugar sweet, ooh, that sugar you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar, just my kind of
Optimization.
So, we're back here in the studio. It's been a very, very long time since I've done a video in the studio. I think I call it the studio. It's my room. That's how highly I think of my room. It's been a really long time. I think, let's see. Actually, let's check. It's been about 8 months ago since I've done a video. And the last Q&A was probably 10 months ago. So, yeah, we got some questions. Here I come with the answers. This video is not really a training vlog that much. It was just kind of showing you guys what I'm doing right now. It's kind of just more laid back. And then this coming week, we'll get back into doing a little bit more program work and cardio work. And like I said, optimization is key. I have done quad toes in competitions in the past. Admittedly, though, the training process was really hard, trying to mentally get myself to do it. I also had an issue where I had almost no choice but to do it in the program because I was dealing with ankle injuries that wouldn't let me do as many flip and luts as I would like to. I'm doing technical changes to optimize it, which I didn't get the chance to do so much earlier on a few years back. So once I can make those changes, hopefully overall training and creating repeatable results with the toe loop is kind of what I'm heading for, right? That's the whole goal, creating repeatable things, you know? Yeah. Anyway, on with the Q&A. Do you feel like your height has ever hindered your progress as a figure skater? Yes. I mean, it's honestly, it's just basic physics, you're throwing yourself around, your center of gravity is higher. Very unideal for projectiles, which is essentially what I am when I'm flying through the air. Definitely not an advantage. I think that like the biggest thing is the room for error is much more little. Honestly, if I was like 8 inches shorter, my room for error would be like way bigger. It's like if the takeoff was a little bit off, if you're a little bit off axis, you can correct it easier, as opposed to when you're taller, it's more difficult, throws you off more. Center of gravity, higher center of gravity, bad. Consistency becomes more difficult because of that. There are advantages. I would say from a performance perspective, I do believe being a taller person and longer limbs helps in terms of performance and lines. That's huge. Even spins can be advantageous for lines. For speed, being tall doesn't help because then you become like a windmill. Have you seen how slow windmills look? That's a problem. So it becomes harder to spin faster when you're really tall. It doesn't take a mathematician to kind of see the trend. There are not many tall male single skaters. There's a handful. There's only like a handful on the senior circuit. Try to take the average male single skater height in the top, like let's say 30 world standings. I don't anticipate that's a very high number, and that's assuming they even provide the correct number because some people are rounding up. I know you guys are rounding up. It's funny because in the UK I had such good quality fan interaction, and the number one thing almost everyone says like, "Whoa, you're tall." Thanks. I know. Before I move on to the next question, I don't want to discourage any tall skaters. Just know that you can be tall and be very, very good. You can do it. I believe in you. What's your fav Taylor Swift song? Probably Delicate. Will we ever get a collab with On Ice Perspective? It's funny you ask that because there have been times I have worked with Jordan briefly, like a couple of times here and there. And for the most part, we haven't done any big stuff just because of scheduling conflict. Like there were times where he wanted to come in and shoot some stuff, but I was like too busy with training or going out to a competition or doing a show. It just scheduling conflicts, but I would say it's probably inevitable. Do you like any K-pop groups other than BTS? Of course. I would say there aren't a lot of guy groups that I like. I like a lot of the female groups. Probably the top guy group for me is Stray Kids after BTS in terms of favorite. Mainly because I feel like the style they have is more reminiscent of the older songs of BTS and not so Western. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I understand why BTS is going in that direction, but I kind of liked the older BTS era more. And Stray Kids is more reminiscent of that, so which is why I like it. I like the vibe. Is there a WhatsApp group of international skaters? Do you have each other's number? There probably are some WhatsApp groups here and there, but honestly, like with Instagram DMs, everyone's pretty reachable. I can't say personally, I'm not very in touch with other skaters so much. I'm not the biggest fan of group messaging in general. If I want to reach out to someone, I usually just reach out to them. Group messaging is good for a week. And then it's like, all right, I'm done, bro. I'm out. Too many notifications, too much spam. It's just not my thing. Most listened song lately. It's a good question. It's pretty easy to find out. I'm just going to go one on repeat playlist from Spotify. The top 6. The more you know. Are you watching the World Cup at all? Not a ton. I wish I could say that I'm like super dedicated to it. I've been watching here and there. So I've been kind of following Team Canada's progress in the World Cup. I think the last time we made a World Cup was 1986. And I don't think we ever scored a goal before. And then we scored the first goal in the World Cup in the last game. I don't even remember that much about it. But, it's cool. Stuff is happening. But, yeah, I don't watch a ton of soccer. I think it's really fun to play. I don't watch a ton and I don't have a ton of time. Not gonna lie. But I'm kind of just keeping up with the results and knowing the games. But to actively sit down and watch a game, I haven't done it. Why you gotta be so cold? I don't know. Why you gotta cut me like a knife? Favorite Netflix show? I'm gonna go by as in like it's made by Netflix. Stranger Things. I thought was like really, really good. I was actually not huge on Stranger Things even up to like season 3. It's just kind of season 4, things start to tie together. That's when it like really hit me hard. Since it's made by Netflix, I'll go with that one. I know Netflix has a lot of other shows, but that can literally change from what region you're in. But like Stranger Things is Stranger Things. Recommended. If you follow my other socials, you'll know that I've been, playing the drums more lately. That's literally because of Stranger Things. Just because it's more 80s music, it got me back into more of the 80s songs. And then for those of you who don't know, I actually do play the drums. I'm not like super amazing at it, but I was playing when I was a kid. And so I kind of like remember stuff here and there. And, I missed it and I started playing again. So thanks to Stranger Things. Intel or AMD? The real questions. You're asking the real questions. Honestly, I think both are fine, but I am personally on Team Red. My PC is chilling out over here. And I actually did get a new PC case. I've got no lights running in it right now just because I find it distracting at night if I need to leave it on to either render something out or something. I love this case because it's freaking silent. I don't have to deal with the noise. It's hella quiet. Anyway, but yeah, I'm on Team AMD. I'm running a 3900X, I think, in that PC. It's not the newest CPU, but it's doing its job. It's kicking. It gets me through any productivity stuff that I need, and it gets me through Valorant, which is basically the only video game that I'm really playing these days. And a touch of Overcooked, just because my girlfriend forces me to, but I hate that game. It causes me real stress. Do you find some fans creepy? Honestly, I have not once had a negative fan experience, so yay. Have you adjusted your training in any way? Training adjusts all the time. Like constantly all the time, where the focus is, what's going on, it changes all the time. Training strategies are just like fluid, very fluid. It has to change, right? You can't really stick to the same thing all the time because things change, programs change, your technique changes, where your body's at changes. There's different focuses all the time. So it's like constantly changing. How do you drink your coffee? I have a huge bias towards espresso-based drinks and not so much plain brewed coffee. If I do plain brewed coffee, I'm chilling with either just cream, a little bit of cream and a little bit of milk. One cream or one milk, depends on how I feel. Never sugar. I'm not a fan of sugar in coffee. I mean, I used to really like French vanillas and stuff, but I think the older I get, the sweetness is just a little yucky. Sometimes, most often, I have a espresso machine. I'm usually just making my espresso fully like manually adjusted and dialing it in the way I want. That's what I have most of the time. Occasionally I'll, steam some milk and get a cappuccino going, but 9 times out of 10, I'm liking that straight espresso shot. On that note, guys, I'm gonna end this video just so that this video doesn't get really, really long. Trying to keep it short. Increase that viewer retention. If you have any questions, drop them below or follow my Instagram. Be on top of the stories. Maybe your question will be answered. If I didn't get to your question, that's okay. You can ask it again. Perhaps I missed it or I just didn't get to it. And on that note, guys, you guys know what to do. I'll catch you in the next video.